What's up, everyone? So just have a pretty crazy story to tell you guys during my Japan trip. So about a week ago, I was in Tokyo and I'm trading pre-market, and I took a $600,000 loss on NQ, and it was a pretty crazy trade. So I went long, scaled into a trade, took 100 lots of NQ. Within a couple hours, I was down about 400,000 on that long, and I got stopped out of it. And Trump tweeted and the market was dipping. It looked like the market wanted to finally break lower on all this tariff noise. So I went short after losing a $400,000. Trump reversed again. He tweeted something positive about China and the tariffs, and NQ ripped higher, and I got stopped out on the upside. So stopped out both ways and ended up losing close to 600 grand within just a few hours. And it was crazy too, because I'm literally walking around Tokyo doing some shopping with my wife. I'm watching this loss just continue to balloon higher, right? I'm walking around down 80 grand, and then put my phone in my pocket, pull it back, I'm down 250. So I went to go sit down in a cafe while my wife was shopping. The 250 went down to 90. My market bounced a little. My first instinct was like, okay, you're only down 90, it can go back to zero and then green. But that didn't happen, right? The 90K ended up moving all the way up to $400,000 in loss, and I got stopped out. And after that, I went short. Right, I thought, okay, well, the market wants to break. Went short, got stopped on the upside, and yeah, it was a pretty crazy trading for myself when the market wasn't even open. But the moral of the story is that when you secure such a big loss, and for me it's a big loss in one day, you can't revenge trade afterwards, meaning you can't just keep going, because that $600,000 loss could end up being $1 million plus in a day, which is pretty substantial. I did something I don't normally do, which was I took the day off because I didn't want to lose any more, and I realized that my decision making was probably compromised. Most of the day, I'm just kind of watching and just observing, and the market was actually grinding higher. And by the end of the day, I think NQ was up like plus 300, almost 300 points positive. So that was to me, that was a little frustrating to see. But at the same time, I made the decision to take on these trades, and it didn't work. Chasing your losses, revenge trading, it's the fastest way to actually blow up the account. Taking the initial loss and then trying one more time, that's okay in my book, where you take one trade, didn't work, take a second trade, doesn't work. But after that, usually that's the best time to stop trading, after you take 2 or 3 losses in a row on the same day. I ended up taking a trade late in the day Friday, after I kind of cleared my mind. The market, I'm on opposite time of you guys, but I pretty much woke up after going to, I went to bed, woke up, and the market was still open a little bit. So I took 20 lots of Bitcoin when it was starting to bounce, and sold it on, I actually ended up selling it on Monday on a gap up on Bitcoin. This was the week of October 24th. Ended up making about 275,000 in that Bitcoin trade. So made back half the loss after taking a break for most of Friday. And from Monday into Friday, the week of October 24th, I ended up making back all of my loss and a little extra on top of that. So made about an extra 450 to 500,000 in different trades, including NQ and Ethereum from Monday into Friday. So the most important thing, like I said, is don't chase your losses, right? If you take 2 or 3 losses in a row, you have to consider just sitting it out and waiting for the next best opportunity. You guys can see, like, I'm human. I'm not invincible, right? We're all prone to making mistakes. We're all prone to taking big losses. But what you do afterwards matters. Hopefully I learned from my mistake. I definitely studied what I did, and I analyzed what I did wrong. And the thing is, oversizing, it really puts you in a position where you can't think clearly. And to me, I guess I kind of got greedy, right? 100 lots of NQ, each point is $2,000, like I said, and 100 points, you can make 200 grand, 200 points, 400 grand. And if I had held that trade, that initial trade, that long, into the end of Friday, I would have made, I think, close to $1 million or over $1 million on that trade, which in hindsight, of course, looks very easy. The thing with trading is that it's a lifelong journey, right? The market will be open up every day, every week, every month, every year. And if you can see the macro trend in the market, that's where the real money's made. Expand your time horizon, right? Don't just be so focused on the next minute, the next hour, because that's the mindset I got into on that Friday, where I lost 600 grand, and it ended up costing me a lot of money. But now, I've kind of recentered myself, studied the loss, and just going to continue to try to get better and better. Yeah, I'm looking forward to trading the rest of the year with you guys. Today, I think, is October 26th. I think there's still about 2 to 3 years left of this uptrend in the market. There should be lots of opportunity. AI is still very early on. right? Bitcoin and Ethereum have been basing for most of the year, and we're going to see crypto rally next year. We're going to see stocks rally again as well. Take a step back, look at the actual trend in the market, and that's where the opportunities lie. It doesn't lie in the next 5 minutes, the next hour, the next 2 hours. You'll collect some profit from looking at those type of trades. You have to look at it from a wider lens, because that's how professional traders look at opportunity, and that's how they capitalize on making the best trades. Yeah, hopefully you guys find these type of stories and videos helpful. If you do, drop me a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be telling you guys more about my journey. Thanks, everyone.